winners. Let the pros show you how to make money. General Manager Al DeMarco, a regular contributor on Fox Sports, MSNBC, and Comcast Sports TV, brings over 25 years of handicapping experience to the table. CEO Steve Budin, the author of Bets, Drugs, and Rock and Roll, is the man responsible for creating the online betting industry. Together, they lead the world's largest online sports handicapping community, your #1 source for winners.
10 of the 14 road teams came up with straight-up wins a week ago. I guarantee you one thing, guys, you don't see that happen too often during the NFL season, and we've got some big games on tap today and some big questions to be answered. Can the Pittsburgh Steelers bounce back from their second straight devastating last-minute home loss to the Baltimore Ravens for a second straight year after the Ravens sweep the season series? Can the Chicago Bears avenge that Monday night loss at Detroit with the win and cover at home against the Lions today? Can the San Francisco 49ers red-hot run continue? Those are some of the questions we've got the answers for today on the Countdown to Kickoff show. I'm Al DeMarco along with Steve Budin. This is the only national TV show that breaks down all of your games on the NFL card from a point spread perspective. I've been a sports handicapper for over 25 years, started my career as a reporter, so I used the knowledge I gained from covering teams and players, evaluating personnel, into making me a successful handicapper. Steve gives you a different perspective. Son of a bookmaker, a guy who really created what we now know as the offshore sportsbook industry some 20 years ago. So you look at it, as we say in the business, from the other side of the fence.
Right, so I utilize my sources, my connections, the crews, the syndicates that I've been using for the last 4 years, ever since I started releasing my plays. One of my biggest crews, obviously the Baltimore crew. Big winner last weekend, had the Giants, a 50-dimer, something that we talk about all the time, you know, the ratings of the plays. You know, most gamblers, whether you're a professional or a layman, at the end of the year, you're going to hit about 50-50 of your plays. That's just math. Now, what's going to separate handicappers and professionals from the novices is the way that they rate their games, because that's everything. That's going to determine at the end of the year whether you win or whether you lose. This was a big 50-dimer, and we needed it. I'm glad we got it.
Well, and you know, one of the biggest misconceptions I think the public has out there, because I'm always asked this question in various radio and TV interviews I do, is, well, what's your winning percentage? Winning percentage means nothing. It's how the plays are rated. You hit the higher rated percentage of the higher rated plays, you turn a profit. I know my plays, 99% of them are rated between 5 and 15 dimes, and they go in 5, 10, 15 dime segments. And I do that for a reason, because I feel that very narrow rating scale is important to let you know how much I love a game. My 15-dime best bet last Sunday was, once again, the Green Bay Packers. Sweat job, granted, but you know they don't pay you less for a close game. They just pay you for a winner, or they don't pay you if you have a loser. You, in the case with the Baltimore crew, you know, as you said, you had to play. Normally they have 25-dime plays. Yesterday, a rare 50-dime play, or last Sunday, a rare 50-dime play. I think their record is 31-15 the past 4 years combined, 14-5 now with those 50-dime plays. So when they step it up, obviously this is a game that you're supposed to step up and increase the amount of your wager. They delivered. Customers made a lot of money.
And when you're winning at a 3-to-1 ratio with your double down plays,
you can roll it.
That's exactly correct.
Hey, and you know, a lot of games here to talk about, and we're going to delve into the first one, Pittsburgh-Cincinnati, in just a moment. But guys, you know, one thing that we haven't mentioned is that Steve is an author. 4 years ago, wrote Bets, Drugs, and Rock and Roll. It was the #1 bestseller in its category at Amazon for over 3 years. But you have some even more exciting news here about the book.
Right. So we just signed a 1-year option, and for the movie. So obviously now the next step is to find a producer, to get a new script writer, and to go ahead and get this done. It's not a guarantee that the movie gets done. You know, these things are hard to predict. They're kind of like, you know, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers every week. But hopefully, within a year or two, we'll see it on the silver screen.
Hey, guys, if you'd like a free copy of Bet, Drugs, and Rock and Roll, all you've got to do is go to the website, send us an email at customer support. Just click on it, send us an email, send your name and your address so we can send it. It's free of charge. Amazing how many people will go ahead and send your name and forget the address, or you'll put your street address and you won't put your city and your zip code. You know, we're handicappers, we're not psychics. So go to the website, send us the email, and we'll send you out a copy of the book for free this week. Let's get to the very first game here, Pittsburgh and Cincinnati. As I alluded to at the beginning of the show, you know, the Steelers, of course, second straight year at home, losing outright in the final minute to Baltimore. Of course, lost their season opener to Baltimore, but the one thing the Steelers are is resilient. Or is, who knows? We'll have to think about that. But they are resilient following a game with Baltimore, covering 10 of the last 14 games after battling the Ravens. Cincinnati comes in here with 5 straight wins, but the Bengals have really benefited from a piece of cake schedule. They haven't played the Steelers. They haven't played the Ravens yet. They played one top-notch defense this year, and it was San Francisco. They lost the game. That defense held Andy Dalton to 156 yards, intercepted him 3 times. You're getting a great price because Pittsburgh's coming off the loss.
Yeah, that, and people believe in the Bengals because of the way they've been playing. But I feel like what you said is absolutely true. The Bengals' success has come just as much because of who they played as how they've played. This is the first really elite team that they're going to face. And the Steelers, they've won 6 in a row, coming off of straight-up losses. I think that trend continues here. I think this is the bargain of the century. Maybe it's a trap, but I'm sticking both of my feet in here. I love the Steelers coming off a loss, minus the 3 points.
I am as well in love with the Steelers here. I would go ahead and buy down the half point at 3 or 3.5 for Pittsburgh if the line goes to 4. Keep in mind, they've won and covered 8 of their last 9 visits to Cincinnati, and the Bengals have a very good defense. But like I said about the San Diego Chargers last week, it's a paper defense. It hasn't been proven on the field. It's just that the weekly NFL stats show you that, hey, they're one of the top defensive teams. Doesn't mean a thing when you're actually playing the games. Next one is Kansas City and Denver. Chiefs, of course, last week. Typical letdown situation. Short week off the Monday night miracle overtime win against San Diego. We're not prepared. 4-game winning streak goes down to 2 because they were thoroughly outplayed by a then winless Miami team at home.
Yeah, and the more everyone continues to chime in about Tebow, the more he brings it and wins. Look, at the end of the day, I like Tebow in a spot that he can win. I don't like him going up against big teams or elite teams. He doesn't have the arm to do it. But when you get him against certain teams that he can beat, he wins. And I like Denver here because of that.
Yeah, it's a very difficult game. I got to be honest with you. I mean, a 3-point line, you're getting tremendous value if you take Kansas City. I'm a little concerned that the Broncos are playing for the 3rd time in 4 weeks on the road. But much like you, Tebow was 2-1 as a starter. But more importantly, Willis McGahee came back from injury last week, 163
Looked
yards.
Great.
163 yards on 20 carries at Oakland. I think the over might be the play here, guys, at 41.5. So, 23 of the last 30 Broncos regular season games have gone over the total. So I think that might be the way to go and skip the side because I really just don't have my opinion on this one. Hey, guys, listen, in our next segment, we are going to be joined, as we are every single Sunday here, by Trace Adams, live from Atlanta, who will give us 3 top plays on the board and his analysis as well. Later in the show, how you can win $300 playing fantasy football against me and Steve. All that and more coming up as the countdown to kickoff continues in just a minute.